Danny, man. It's a pleasure to be with y'all, man. What is it? June the 28th, circa 2023. Pleasure to be with y'all, man. We about to get into something deep like we always do.
To get into it.
We about to,
Actually, June the what again? This year almost over already.
we at the end of June.
Rolling. But we got to get together today. Thanks for joining in. But be more for real. We got so much to talk about tonight. So thanks for joining us and send them comments in, and we are ready to get started.
Yep.
So again, I'm Uncle Wayne. Welcome to Be More for Real.
Yep. Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure y'all share and everything and support the brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking for much. Actually, it's a free service.
So we really not asking for much. Just push subscribe and join us. And send them comments, and that's what we really need. We really do need them comments for tonight, y'all. And again, welcome to Be More for Real.
Welcome to Be More for Real. So we don't want to handle the people too much, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on in the community, you know what I mean? But we always get into the nitty-gritty of it, and that's the whole purpose. Like, we got to be more for real about what's going on around us. So one thing that we did see today was...
one of the things.
One of the things that we did see today that stuck out, which is why our presentation got delayed as well, amongst some other things. But, there's violence that happens within our community and within our neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? And we was able to witness this firsthand, you know what I'm saying? And it's such a tragedy at how our people combat with our people, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, we fighting for real stuff. We fighting for real rights. You know what I'm saying? We fighting for real reparations and things like that. But also, we fighting against each other. And that's a huge thing when we're talking about violence within our neighborhoods. What you think about that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. We fight each other. We say it on a regular basis. Like now, the crime that we just seen or the situation we just witnessed, it's us. Violence against us. It is not the problem. It's an issue that we have to address soon. Because if this keep happening, it's going to be like the Wild Wild West that back in the days, where everyone had a gun. And it was like, you say something smart and then, you had to have a walk down where everyone walk back to back and they turn around. The fastest drawer is the one that kill each other. Mm-hmm. That's how it used to be.
The Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Yep.
And so it's like it's getting that way, but it's like now it's making no sense because the innocent are really being hurt. Let's say, for example, if they go out to shoot the intended target, they shoot everything else. It's the kid in the mother's lap. It's the priest. It's always someone else. That's where the problem coming at. All of us are now suffering. You don't know if you could get back in your house at night. You leave out in the day, it's not even a guarantee that you get in the house at night, and 10-1.
So with
out of control.
With all that being said, are Black people more a danger to ourselves than any other danger that may present itself to us?
That's what became. It has become that point now. Look at the statistic as it is. Look, it speaks for ourselves, but we don't like to address it. It's like we have to have two conversations. We have to have a conversation with our counterparts, and we have to have that conversation with each other. Mm-hmm. From one Black to another, we've got to address the issues that we have with each other.
But people don't be wanting to hear that, though.
And that's where another problem.
The moment you really start speaking something that may sound like, oh, we gotta rise, we gotta unite. It sounds like total hogwash to people. Like it goes in one ear and out the other. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it difficult for us too, as a people, because when we trying to relate to other people, it's like it's no longer relatable. Like I was saying, like it seemed like when other people get in office, right, and they take the jobs like Trump and all these other races of people, when they get the jobs, right, they look out for their own people. But it's something about when Black people get put in those high positions and stuff like that, it's like they the only reason why they in that position is if they throw us under the bus, like, and that's how they stay in that position, by keeping us under. And I'm like, yo, why?
You all know this.
Why the freak is that?
You all know this and feel this, but you all don't hold the politicians accountable. If you all stand up and you all age group, I'm 60. It's just a difference between me and you all, the younger ones that you are now. If you all don't like something, stand up together and you could do something about it. You all accept this politician things. Just like you said, you're absolutely correct. We elect these politicians to look out for us, but they do anything but look out for us. But yet, time after time, we keep electing them in there and we want something different and we get the same exact thing.
I'm not saying the politicians do or do not look out for us. My thing is, how do we as people get along enough to make anything happen? So, like, if you really look at it, the most violent communities, or excuse me, not communities, but the most violent cities in America, right, are black dominated. Look at Detroit,
Fact.
look at Atlanta, look at New
Fact.
Orleans, look at no other city other than our own. You know, it's a lot of cities that you know, have violence in them. And most of them are predominantly black and have all this black influence. Why is black culture so violent?
It speaks for itself. Once again, you just said it. If you become a leader and you are elected to make changes, remember that you are elected to make changes. Stop saying they can't help you out or not set up to help you out. If we're electing these politicians that look like us and promise to do things and get in there and don't do anything, that's why
But
things
they
are
not
the way
helping
they
us
are.
out though.
That's why we're turning on each other. If
Mm.
you're not growing and things are not changing, you start to turn on each other.
But how could you, when you're in a state of survival, not do what it takes to
Just said
survive?
you're in the state of survival.
Right.
That's exactly what you got to do.
So if
You're
my
going to
ribs, if my
survive.
ribs touching, what's stopping me from not caring that you share my same blood color? Like, I mean, it's a lot of factors out here, and we really gotta get into this, yo. I think really the problem is with our community is that we don't have a code, and I will say this over and over again. Our community don't have a code, right? So what I mean by that is like, let's say you trying to teach a young child in this Americanized Western system of the United States, right? You trying to teach a child how to read, right? The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to teach them the ABCs. That's why we go with the A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. And then from there, you teach them words, how to put those letters together to make words. And then from there, you put those words together to make sentences. It's like we got so far away from the basics. And this is my main point in saying what I'm saying. It's like we got so far away from the basics and having a code that we are no longer sound in our movement. We don't even move as one as a people. Everybody against each other. It's the light skin against dark skin. I mean, every division that you could name that black
East
people
side
have,
against west side.
east against
It's
west,
always.
city, county, you name it. I'm telling you, it's every divide that there can be against us. And I'm like, wow, why is that? And our most prominent leaders, that actually happened to be back in the day, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Look what they did to our leaders, Marcus Garvey and all, and they killed all of them and made men not want to speak up anymore against a racial segregation and racial divides and all that stuff. And truth be told, the media made it so that we can't speak about our racial divide. We can't speak about how bad we have become as a people because we're trying to get rights. You know what I'm saying? And when we're trying to get rights and fight for rights, they like, all right, well, y'all kill each other more than anybody. It's like, well, y'all 13% of the U.S. population, but you 40% of homicides in America. That's a true fact. Don't take my word for it. Black people are black males, and more specifically, are we're part of the 13% of the U.S. population, but also 40% of the homicide rates. And see why you might think the 40% and they get you to fixate on that 40%, there's still white people killing in that other 60%. And there's a whole lot of numbers that we need to sit and assess here and figure out how do we move on. How do we move on? Because right now, what we trying to do, we trying to make a community of folks, and I mean a real community, or a community of folks that actually know how to thrive and be self-sufficient. Look, my brother, you do houses, I sell cars. If I need a house, I'm gonna come to you. And now that I make houses, I need a car, I'm gonna come to you, and we need to come together and make something work. And that's healthy competition. It's like we lost it. We lost.
But let's get to the point that you were making. If we focus together, we can get through this.
Mm-hmm.
For somewhere along the way, we are so divided now, just like you said, that it's so easy to conquer. We are so afraid that one of us will get more than the others, that we don't like it, that we won't even help, even when we destroy ourselves. And who lose? All of us lose.
Right.
So when people say that the crime rate is higher with us, that's true. If we face those facts and do something about it, it will make a change. But we say right now, you there, I'm here. We're talking about it. We bring it up for real. We're going to bring up even more things. We're going to bring up more business in Baltimore to get to that level. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do one step at a time.
Right.
Everyone do one thing that'll make a difference. Because as soon as you say, oh, it'll never happen, you become the weakest link because you don't believe in each other. We're going to get through this. This is a tough time, but you know this. We talk about this all the time. God works best in mess, right?
I be stressing the fact that we need a code for real. Like we need a code to abide by. You know what I'm saying? We need a particular structure in order to move forward. Because until we lay that foundation, we building our house on straws and cards. You know what I'm saying? It's really not built on anything solid. I mean, when you look at the way that things are built and the way that things are created. Now let's look at buildings. You know, you can't build a building from the roof down.
Right.
There's no structure. There's no skyscraper, no house, anything that has been built from the top down. And so we got to look at how things are made, and things are made from the ground up. And it's a reason why it's made from the ground up, because you got a foundation and you can build upon that. But the thing is, you can build upon a not solid foundation. And the moment something like a tornado or a flood come through or whatever, then you know that whatever you had founded on is weak.
And that's what for a lot of us black men feel that way. We really don't have a foundation, ideology, something to believe in. That's why it's hard for us to get to the next level. It really is. That foundation matters, because when everything is not working well, you can go back to that foundation, something that you believe in that's strong, a goal, something you can believe in every day to start out with. But we as blacks have to start. Just like I said, you there, I'm here. It has to start from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I say it is to get the conversation out. We have to have the conversation, because we have to have a conversation with each other. That's why we're here. We have to have the conversation. Just like you said, us with that anger, us killing each other, that crime that we just saw earlier today, that's all destroying us and our race.
Oh, speaking of that crime earlier.
Let's show some of that.
Speaking of the crime earlier.
That started today out of nowhere from around us.
Let's show y'all some of the adventures that we had today. You know, let me see if I can.
Baltimore shots and crime. It has to stop.
Let me see if I can pull this up. And remember, we appreciate the viewers and everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can like, share the stream and all of that. You know, we appreciate y'all. But look, the news probably ain't even showed this yet for real, because we was really in the mix. But we gonna show y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear whatever. We about to see. But look, this is what we witnessed. This is what we witnessed. You know what I'm saying? And we right here. We smack dab in the middle of this. You know what I'm saying? We heard the shots and everything. You feel what I'm saying? But we thought it was something else, because, you know, 4th of July, everything, people with the cars. Yeah, the backfire.
Whole world stopped.
It's a lot of things.
We don't hit the deck. We just say, what is it?
It's a lot of things. But something really happened tonight. You feel what I'm saying? In front of our eyes, you know what I'm saying, while we traveling, going on our journeys, you know what I'm saying? So this is the truth. That's what's going on in our communities. And we want to talk about what's wrong with America, what's wrong with the black businesses in America. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. Because when you got people that's being killed in front of your establishments and all that stuff, which we do, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. Why are we so quick to turn a gun on our own people, but not quick to turn a gun on our oppressors? Not quick to turn a gun on the system that's keeping us down. I was talking about this too. It's like the crab in the bucket, right? The crab in the bucket mentality. So we often talk about crabs in the bucket here because we know it's a crab in the bucket city, and I don't think people really get that whole analogy of what crabs in the bucket is. Let me know if you think you know what the crabs in the bucket is, your understanding of crabs in the bucket. But look, the crabs in the bucket, when you look at the crabs, they all in the barrel, and you could just place them all there. Even though they can climb out, they can use their claws to climb out, they would never get out that barrel. It don't matter if you're in the lowest or the highest, you know what I'm saying, of the barrel, you still in that barrel, you will never get out. But what we don't talk about is the people that set the barrel, the people that make the barrels for these crabs to go into and the traps.
They know about the extended version of crabs in the barrel.
And see, that's something that that's something that the Creator showed me. That's something that God, whom the world refers to as God, I like to call Yah. That's who He showed me. That's what this is. You know what I'm saying? Just through his instructions, He showed me that. Look, it's the reason why that trap is there. Who are the people that set the traps? Really, who are the people that set the traps? It's the reason why these crabs is in the bucket to begin with, because really they roam, and in the bottom of the ocean they do, or the sea or whatever, they do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? How did they get in the bucket? Because the fishermen had to set the trap. Now you're looking at the fishermen. Who are these fishermen? Who are these people that are fishing these people and putting all these people into a bucket? That's my question to the people.
That's the first time I've ever heard crabs in the bucket so extensively. But hey, listen, we've got to put them thinking caps on. We've got to understand what is going on with us, because we are at each other's throat on a regular basis. You know how it is. One give up, we snatch them back down. We don't want no one to get anything we don't have, but at the same time, we don't have anything.
Right.
So at the same time, we all lose. This has got to stop. We need to start with an ideology, meaning something that we believe in, we can all agree on. Like I said repeatedly, let's say, for example, we can't even agree on, are we considered black people or African American? You know, something just that simple we can't even agree on.
And that's the reason why, because we don't have a code. We have been unlearned.
I understand. Talking about getting to a code, we can't even get the basics.
And we was talking about this outside, because I'm like, I know a lot of people don't believe in the Bible, but look, the Bible got gems. The Bible drops jewels. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It drops jewels.
Absolutely.
The Holy Bible drops jewels.
Absolutely.
You want to know how? Because it says that, you could tell a tree by the fruit it bears. We don't have, we was farming and we wanted to harvest crops and stuff like so. We would have to do it according to the season, which is in, and according to certain patterns of the seasons.
Absolutely.
You can't just plant crops when you want to. Imagine you in this city and in this region in the part of the world and trying to plant a lot of crops in the ground during the winter months. Do you think they're going to grow with frost and all? No, they're not going to grow. You understand what I'm saying? So what it's saying is that basically we have no root. The root of us been taken out. Remember the show Roots? The root, who we are as a people, has been taken out. We can't even identify with who we are as a people, because we got a lot of black people that represent a lot of different things. We got the ones that's in the medical doctor fields. We have the ones that's the lawyers. Then we have the gangsters. We have the hoes. We got the pimps. We got all different types of representations of us. You know what I'm saying? And not one solid leader, not one solid representation. And notice how, like I said, when the politicians and stuff, especially like Trump, whom I have no problem with, you know what I'm saying? At least I know who he is. You know what I'm saying? people hate people to speak the truth. At least I know who he is. If he don't like to deal with black people like that or whatever case
you
may
respect
be,
the man to be who he say he is.
I'd rather that be up front.
Act like he said he
exactly.
is, right?
And then, man, that's a whole nother time.
A whole nother topic.
But look, as I digress, people are wearing masks and they masquerading, and that's why we got to pull that mask off in order to heal. It's like being shot or being stabbed or being injured, and you don't know where you bleeding or being hurt from. How can you possibly heal a wound where you don't even know where you bleeding from? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. We got to be more practical about our approach, which means that we need the fundamentals down pat. We've been so caught up in these astrologies, horoscopes, and all these complexities of life that the fundamentals we done lost. We lost the fundamentals.
That's why we can't. That's why we can't resolve the issue of the murder, because we think the killing is the problem, which we still don't understand. Like you said, it had got to a point. The killing is not the problem. That is just some of the symptoms of the problem. We've got to go to the core issue of the problem so we can prevent the murder rate. Not only that, the domestic violence. That is, the relationships now is just out of control. It's like they fight all of the time. And it's like, so if we're not addressing these issues, what are we doing? As a black race, we've got to understand who we are. And the reason why we concentrate so much on blacks when we got BMore4Real, because Baltimore is 63% black. We concentrate on mainly who we are.
Right.
We can concentrate on everybody, but let's concentrate on what's mainly the issue. Right. So we've got to work on us together. Let's give another example. We were talking about the health situation. When they were talking about high blood pressure, we were all talking, as a black person, it's different from any other race when it comes to high blood pressure. They know it and they say it, but yet we don't get any special research on us. That really should be really acknowledged. Once again, if we had the right leaders that lead the way we expect for them to, we will get that done.
And not only that too, black people, my father, he said, something that stuck with me, and my mother used to say it too, but it was like, yo, if you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book, because black people we were not afforded. You got to understand that what Master did to black people, right? They took black people and they said, look, you can't read, you can't write, so you can't know what we're doing. Because see, when we understand how the influences of the world work, they put their art and their craft, but you got to understand how to read it in order to understand. And I know this can sound deep, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Just like Freemasonry. And look, we can get in that because look, let's be more for real. You know what I'm saying? I can show you more than I can tell you. With the Square Company, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna come out of this. You know what I'm saying? You see that? It's a lot of stuff that's gonna come out of that. You know what I'm saying? But what it's showing you is this is an arrow up. You know what I'm saying? Arrow up. You know what I'm saying? As above, right? And this arrow down. So below. They showing you.
Yeah.
They showing you that the heavenly realm is a mirror image of the earthly realm. And they put it in this esoteric text and stuff like that, where people can't read it and not understand it. And see, these people are not good people. Even though I understand that these people are not good people, I don't care what you say. If you are a Freemason or whatever, come on the platform. Come and chat with us. Let's be more for real. You know what I'm saying? We can get into it.
And
you know what I'm saying? We can have controversy without conflict.
I can have the conversation too, because I learned it want to know more.
We can have controversy without conflict. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying our people
haven't been informed. Be more for real. All the way to the core.
On religion. Our people haven't been informed on how the pastors has taught a lot of things that came from the same people that were our oppressors. Like, how could we believe such a structure where these people had came and they took our ancestors and they decimated and they desecrated our whole images, our villages, and took us and as slaves to a foreign land and did all of this stuff. How could we possibly believe anything that they could say about anything? And that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? White people got to realize as well that you guys attributed to the trade of the greatest atrocity on earth. These are actual truths that we got to be more for real about. These are actual truths we have to be more for real about. You guys attributed to the greatest atrocity on earth. The amount of slaves that were killed during the transatlantic slave and that were raped and pillaged. The amount of Native Americans that were here before you guys got here that you didn't rape and pillage, who are still less than 1% of the total population in the Americas. These are This is why black people need reparations. How you gave Chinese people and how you gave all these people reparations before black people. And we've been at this for more than 400 years. This is the stuff that we need to tell the people, but we're not educating the people about it because people have been dumbed down to entertainment, and what we and that's why they have the rappers out there and the singers out there that they choose to have out there, because we don't control that image either. We have people out here that make better music. We have better rappers out here that make better raps. We have people out here that make better songs, but will they put that out there? No, because we don't control that. So until we take back and get control and start having a code and look and say, look, this is how we gonna operate, we're gonna still be lost as a people.
We have to pull together. We really have to pull together. And listen, you know how I feel, plain and simple. When you go to the Bible, slavery is a curse of black men for being disobedient. It is what it is. We got to get back in God's good graces. It's all simple if it is. And we have to do it with unconditional love, not hate. No more conquering them, because it'll be a bloody war where no one wins again. So instead, we've got to stop worried about what they think about us and start getting our thing together. That's why I say we're 63% black in Baltimore. Let's work on us getting us together. We know what we need to succeed. Everyone that's in trouble in Baltimore who's making bad decisions are part of our family. If I can't help them, maybe you can help them. You can't help them, maybe somebody else can help them.
Right.
And then after you help them, they can help someone else.
Right.
That's what we have to do. But instead, we so busy talking about each other. We so busy saying, oh, it ain't my fault, or I'm going to get you before you get me. That's where the issue is. I see it all the time on a regular basis, but at the same time, I see beautiful, loving people at the same time. So I know all is not bad, all is not good.
Exactly.
So all we have to do is pull ourselves together and we can get through this. That's where my focus is on. It's going to continue to be on. And that's why I said the more that we're on here, the more that we get this message across. We're going to bring black businesses in here to get on here and talk about Baltimore. And we're going to move to the next level. We're going to do it regardless who our politicians are.
Right.
You know?
Right. And like I said too, man, we do appreciate the viewers, man. If you could like, share the stream, comment, let us know what you think about the state of the black community. Let us know what you think. It doesn't matter which side you on. We have to be open minded. There was also a guy, I'm not gonna bring him up either, which I really should. You know, just
be more for real. We don't cut any corners. This is our second episode. Watch how we get each episode.
I don't like doing that because it's a reaction of a reaction, right? But let me see if I can pull him up. Let me see if I can pull him up, and y'all might know him too, because this is real famous content too. This is fresh and fit. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking some stuff about black people that you might want to hear. And so let me see if I can pull him up for us for a second. And it was the content. I won't say how it was. You know what I'm saying? I will let y'all draw your own opinions and stuff like that too. But I would just listen to what he's saying. Let's go. Well, as I look for this, Uncle Wayne, just keep letting them know about what we got going on.
Absolutely. While you're looking for that, Be More For Real is the podcast we put together that's doing the inside of Baltimore out. People in Baltimore have so much to say. We hear it all the time. We talk to each other, but we don't never get the message out. When things happen to us, we we complain, but we don't do anything about it. Let's say, for example, the MTA, we complain about that service on a regular basis, which is Mass Transit Administration, the public transportation. It's horrible out there, but yet we continuously keep taking it. And I hear the complaints everywhere. Let's say the same with the politicians. You hear the complaints everywhere. We complain to each other, but we don't do anything about it. So when the younger generation gets to the old generation, we was listening. We're like, you know what? It's time to get it out. What's going on? How we feel. So we put together Be More for Real. We got a staff. We put it together. We got all the opinions that we possibly can, put them together, and we putting them out here. This is our second episode, and you're going to see each time we're going to get more and more in depth. Thank you for joining us. And remember, Be More for Real. We need you to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, it holds us back. We need your comment. Listen, we don't expect for you to agree with us. That's just how it is. But can we discuss it? That's the only way we can get to the next level and grow together. We've got to do this together, y'all. Look at Baltimore now. Look at the situations we're in. Everywhere you go, we're angry. Look, go in an average spot. Let's say anywhere you go, in CVS, Walgreens, anywhere. Just look at the atmosphere. Everyone is angry at each other. Look all on the bus stop, all in the subway. Everyone is just mad. Everyone looking for one reason to pop off. It has to stop. We got to put God back in there. You know, I didn't say anything about a religion, anything about a church, but we got to put God in our foundation. You can wake up feeling better. So each week we're going to be here. We got the live audience, and we're coming up again with Be More for Real. Thanks for joining us.
Now look,
how far did you get?
And don't forget to like and share. Now watch this. Only thing I did was Black Culture in America. If you could see what I looked up, Black Culture in America. This is the first video, and I was just like, we don't own the rights to this. Actually, I'm not sure if y'all can pull it. To be honest, I'm not sure. I can't hear this. I'm assuming that y'all. I'm assuming that y'all can't hear this.
That's all you motherfuckers do is cry, bro. That's all they do on fucking Twitter. I'm really black because my parents are here.
I can't hear the playback. I can't hear the playback at all.
And remember, any small business or any black business in Baltimore at all, please join us. Come up, tell us who you are, and what do you think about Be More.
I can't hear this at all. Let me see.
In 1945, and they know Martin Luther King. Shut the fuck.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. So I can't hear anything, but Black Culture in America, this guy was going in. I'm gonna figure it out next time.
Yeah, you were going to talk about him, but we didn't get him up. That's all right.
We're gonna get better with that.
We'll get better.
I was actually able to bring it up last time, but for some reason this time I couldn't hear it. If you could hear that, please let me know if you could. Oh, okay. Somebody said they can hear. All right. So we can't actually hear it on this side. Let me see. Appreciate you, cuz. I see you, cuz, in the comments. I appreciate you. You said he can hear it.
But I can't.
Yeah, but we can't. Let me see if I can tweak a little bit of settings here to make sure that we can hear the audio output. Let's see.
Yeah, bring audio.
Hold on. Can't hear it. Still can't hear it. Well, at least y'all can hear it, but that's not the whole purpose. If y'all can hear it and we can't, then
all right. We may have to go to the next topic. Absolutely.
I wouldn't say the next topic, but this guy, man, you got.
Well, if we can't get him on there, right?
Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. Let's go. Watch this. Let's get this audio on. Let's see.
All right, nice talk here.
All right, I want to reiterate: we don't own the rights to this. We can hear this. Now look, we gonna get into this. So we ain't gonna do too much pausing. Hold your breath though. Hold your breath, though.
What? That's all you motherfuckers do is cry, bro. That's all they do on fucking Twitter. Well, I'm really black because my parents were here in 1945 and they know Martin Luther King. Shut the fuck up. That's why foreigners come to this country and laugh at you niggas, bro. Real talk. Chinese people come to this fucking country. You know what they do? They open up a fucking Chinese food spot in the hood. The Indian people, they go open up a convenience store in the hood. The Arabs, they come into the United States, they go put a fucking liquor store in the hood, and them niggas can't even drink. They laughing at you, stupid fucks. Because you guys come into the store, oh, hey son, let me get a pack of Hennessy. Yo, I only got 20 on me right now, bro. I know it's 50, but yo, do a hook a brother up. No, come back again with the money. They laugh at you niggas because you guys were born here with the opportunity, and they're making a killing off you stupid fucks. Because you guys speak English, born here, raised here, U.S. citizenship, and you're still a fucking loser. Going into a foreign nigga store, buying the fucking alcohol, crying and complaining about why you're not where you want to be, but you're drunk all the time off of fucking Hennessy. That's the truth in the black community. That's the fucking truth. You choose to be a fucking loser. Okay? And I don't want to hear nothing. Because if I get pulled over by the police versus you get pulled over by the police, the only difference is that I'm not going to be a fucking retard. I know how to move. I'm going to tell him, how you doing, officer? I'm going to keep my fucking hands on the steering wheel. I'm not going to call him a fucking dirty pig and say all this other stupid shit. I'm going to walk off with no ticket. Your dumb ass is going to get in trouble. Because you want to sit there arguing with the police and say, defund the police, fuck the police, yeah. You create your reality based off of how you fucking behave, based off of how you act.
Hey, I see no lies, bro.
Shouts out to the brother for this channel. We're gonna make sure we put him on Night Talk. He the one that brought this clip up, and this is a clip of a clip. Shout out to that brother. But yeah, that was deep. That was deep. He said he see no lies. If you want to hear more about his reaction, you can go over there to his channel and see his reaction. But
hey, live and
what's
learn.
Your reaction, Uncle Wayne? What's your reaction?
Yeah, but you know what? I think he has two opinions for that. I mean, for one, I could understand his opinion when he started out the beginning that we make our own destiny to a degree. Yes, but we have to do it as a whole. We can't do it individually. And then the situation with the police officer sort of lost me. He don't realize, I don't care how you act with certain police officers pull you over. You could be ass kisses or be nasty and disrespectful. The results are going to still be the same. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on now. Don't pander to the white folks at the same time trying to make it, a point. Mm-hmm. That's where I want to, finish talking to him about. I mean, it is what it is. And then again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes the world go around.
Yeah, and opinions are like
assholes. We all have one.
We all got one. You know what I'm saying? But then there's facts, because facts. They operate outside of opinions. Obviously.
What do you think?
What I think is definitely an opinion, but I think what he was saying was facts. I think what he said was facts. I think everything he said was facts to begin with. So I don't want to negate anything about that. But I think what he failed to mention is that the what black people have went through, you know what I'm saying, and have been through is a lot different than these other people, even if they coming over from other countries. So we're not going to negate the fact that you people that stomped on our ancestors' neck for the last 400 plus years. Like, we're not going to just breeze over the fact that y'all just erased our image of who we were and who we are as a people. We're not going to just breeze over that. So you talking about the people who know who they are. So let's say you ask that person, okay, who your people is, where you come from. He going to be able to tell you. Let's go to some of the comments right now. Cuz said, I understand what he's saying, but it's how he's saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it do sound crazy. And I agree with you. It do sound crazy. It definitely sound crazy. And then he said a lot of those horns get grants to start their own businesses. So
and it's facts, but that's set up that way. But it goes to his point again. We allow that. We don't stand up and take anything against that happening. They come over here, just like he said, they don't ask to move in our neighborhood. They don't give us any warning. They just move here. You never see them go into the white neighborhood and open up a store. You know that they can't go in no county neighborhood to the corner and open up no store. That would have been almost impossible in them neighborhoods, and he's absolutely correct. But at the same time, we don't have any power. It goes back to what I said. The politicians that we elect to give us power don't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we don't have any. And what store we gonna go to? If we don't go to that bar, what bar we gonna go to? It's gonna be miles away for the next one.
Right.
So,
well, look, see, the thing about what he was saying, like I said already, is that he totally negated the circumstances, and that's what he said at first. He was like, my parents came here in 1995, 1945, whatever. Yo, it makes absolute sense. We've been here longer than these people that came over from other countries. But like I said, when you're dealing with the people who don't have an identity, who don't know who they are, that's where it starts from. If you don't even know who you are, you don't even know where you came from, how could you know where you're going? Absolutely. Marcus Garvey 101. You know what I'm saying? How could you know where you're going? And they are strategically doing it. That's why Black History Month, man, to hell with Black History Month. Morgan Freeman said that. To hell with Black History Month. Which month is White History Month? Which month is Jewish History Month?
But that go back to it saying,
exactly.
But it's time for us to pull together and make the changes. We got to start with the bare minimum. The bare minimum. The bare minimum.
He said he meant to say foreigners. He said he meant to say a lot of those foreigners get grants to start their businesses, and they do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the foreigners get grants to start their businesses,
loans,
and they do. You know what I'm saying? To make their communities and establish their communities, their businesses in our communities. And that's the terrible part, because when you look at it, when you in the Jewish part of town and all that stuff, especially in Baltimore, you know you got Jewish stores. When you got the Hispanic part of town, you got Lower Mexico or Lower Latino, whatever, however you want to call it. You got all of them. They own all the stores. They own everything around there. You know, when it comes to us, we don't own anything. And the reason why we don't own anything, we want to get to the root of it, is because we got people that when they got something, they don't want to send that ladder back down. They want you to work for them instead of them teaching you certain skills so that you can take off. These are what you call gatekeepers. We already talked about that. These are the people that's out there for us. And we would think that it's the white man and all that stuff, but yeah, to be honest, there are Black people that are well within our circle that are keeping us down. You don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? That crab in the bucket. Remember, I asked you who put the bucket there. Now Black people control a lot of other stuff. The only thing we don't control really is music distribution and stuff like that. When you understand and you follow the money and how the money's going, we don't own the big things. We only own our lyrics, and we barely even own that. We don't even own our masters.
Nothing.
Like, come on, man.
It is sad. Black folks own
what it is.
And control nothing. And it is sad. All the power, all the uniqueness that we have as a race, we don't use it. We really don't, because if we did, the jig would be up everywhere. We would be unstoppable. If we pull together as a race, there is no other race that can even match us. Everything we touch, we excel. But you know what we're doing? We really turn on each other. If we stop turning each other and pull together, we will run the United States of America the way it should be ran.
Right.
Seriously. But when we get into those positions, we become substitute teachers. You know, we don't change any laws. We just implement their laws. And it doesn't make any sense to me. When you change things, you need to change. We're not white. White or not Black. We have different ways of life that we are that need to be addressed. Let's say, for example, I'm going to give you a prime example. If they say slave patrols used to be, a policeman name used to be Slave Patrol, but they changed the names but didn't change the bylaws or the rules and regulations of a slave patrol. So they still use the same rules and regulations of slave patrol, but just changed the name. So that's why the police are going to target Blacks, because that's what they were created to do. All their tactics set up that way. So we don't stand up and say, well, you all have been abusing us all those years. You have to go. But we don't stand up because they say, oh, you need police officers. Without police officers, you need. Really? Right. That's because we don't stand up together to straighten the situation out. Do you get what I'm saying?
I want to revisit that video that we couldn't share earlier.
With the sound,
if I could. Yeah, because we can hear the sound. Like I said, we're going to get better with the stream, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, like, and share,
I appreciate y'all joining us. Second episode. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there.
It's going to get better and better every time. But let's go ahead and look at where we was at earlier. Now that we can hear. You know what's going on.
And this is when the helicopter get there half an hour after the fact,
right? And
flying around in the same circle. This is it.
Whole world stopped.
And look at all this money going to these police officers in this situation as if they're going to resolve an issue. This is where our issues. These are part of our problems. We put money into things that are useless.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deal. The useless situation.
This was earlier, man. We was in here. I mean, this just happened right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about this right now. We got the choppers out. They like 30 minutes late. We've been heard those shots, but
ambulance came late too.
You can't see, but they just started taking it off.
They just now getting here.
Yeah.
Helicopter just.
That was like that's why I said it was like 30 ago.
How long ago was this? Flying out right down the street.
Yep.
All they want was the organ. They don't want the person to be alive. They want the organ. That's
what happened. You know what happened.
You know, so I look at that, and this is what I was telling my nephews. I laugh about this, but I think about this real heavily. These places where most of the murders happen at, they're usually young blacks. And I look at the list of kidneys, livers, heart, eyes, all. So when some of them young brothers are killed, and all of those organs are in the body, one after another, after another, after another. And it makes me puzzle, where are those organs going? When I know there's lists, rich people pay millions just to get those organs. Are those organs in them bodies that's being buried of us, or they're not?
Well, I think the truth of the matter is whether or not we give them permission, like say that you're on a donors list or not. I don't think that.
How many blacks
I mean, who can really check?
List?
I mean, because once your
people in there, who can
go up in there and say, "Yo, let me see my people's cavities," but make sure they got all of their stuff.
If they ask those families to be exhumed, to be brought up, I bet we will blow our mind that no organs. I know the organs have to come up, but where are they? But if that's the case, then I'm sure the money goes to the family. I'm sure it's done. Why
but you know they did the same thing to Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks came up with the stem cells. She was from Baltimore. Experiment with John Hopkins. That's how they came up with stem cells in 1954. So I mean, a lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, we already know about. A lot of this stuff we just aren't taught. Like, are they really teaching about Henrietta Lacks and
I know they're not teaching about that.
And I don't mean colleges and all that stuff where you got to pay for tuition. I mean, are they talking about it in public school?
They don't want to teach. They don't want to teach that we were someone. They don't want to look like we were someone, because that makes it seems like that they didn't do the things that they claim they have done. Let's say for school, they still talking about this Christopher Columbus situation. See how these lies, and they could continue to go with them.
Right.
And if Usher stand up, it's like you could continue to lie, and you have it in these history books. All that needs to be examined. We need blacks to stand up and say these need to be examined, and you need to put us in there as well. But do we stand up? I'm gonna tell you what we stand up for. Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, sir. Do you kind of see what I mean?
And they even did away with that. They took Aunt Jemima and them off.
That's what we aim for.
The shelves.
We aim too low. But yet but the money that we fight over have racist slave owners on every bill that we have. We never argue over that.
Yo, that's
never.
that is something that needs to be said.
Addressed.
I mean, we do know that the economy that these people have was predicated off the backs of black people and black slaves. Now, if you don't believe me, well, just look it up. When you look at the banks, the people that really have the money, the people that really control the laws, they had slaves back in the day, and they're not paying out a single cent of reparations, restitution, however you want to call it, phrase it, or whatever. They're not paying. And I know that's an age-old conversation. They like, when black people gonna get reparations? When black people gonna get reparations? But
we need
whether we do or we don't,
pull together.
Right. Whether we do or we don't, it don't even matter. We need to pull together our resources
Have to pull together.
When we look at it, black people are definitely 1.9. We definitely had $1.9 trillion of spending power in 2021. So if we had $1.9 trillion of spending power in 2021, right? And
how much?
1.9 trillion dollars, I believe. 1.9 trillion dollars, which is almost to 1.6. Maybe it was 1.6. Whatever. Don't quote me exactly on that, but it was more than 1.5. It was closer to It was closer to 2 trillion than it was 1 trillion. But the thing is that black people, money that we have, that we earn, it went significantly up by more than 100%. But the thing is that our net worth as a community went down
by the case
14%.
Always the case.
And so, like, we don't have the spending power. We're not taught how to spend economically. This is the stuff that they're not teaching us in school. And to be honest with you, that our counterparts and other people, they're teaching their children and stuff like that how to spend in school and all this stuff. And we are not doing that. And we're depending on the system and the government and the politicians to be doing jobs that we actually should be teaching, because they're not going to be teaching it. And they should be. They should be, but if they did, then how many people would get out of the welfare system and the poverty system, which keeps America going? Because for America, it's the rich get richer and the poor get poor.
But what I'm saying is, it's not their job for them to teach us. It's our job for us to teach us. It is. That's when it's time. And we need to teach us correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the curriculum in school now is so useless. When a kid go to school, they're preparing them for college. They setting the kids up for what they want them to do, not what we did. We're not. If we're not college material, is something wrong with us? If we don't want to go to college, do we have to suffer and not get the same money, respect, and level of success because we don't go to a college? See, that doesn't make sense. College is nothing but learning more of their theory. You know that. So why can't we be successful in other ways? That's where it comes at. But if we learn to teach ourselves, we will learn that way. But we don't. We can't keep following their rules and regulations, their policies and procedures, and expect for us to be successful. It won't work. It is our time to get it done our way for a change. It is.
It is. And it is really our time, man. For real. And we coming up on time very shortly, but look, we want people to
half the year gone already.
We want people to really like and subscribe and share to the content. It's things that we're going to do within the community, that we're going to do for the community, that we're not even going to explain, but this stuff is for the community. This is for especially our community as the quote unquote Black African American two continent community. This is for us. So the more we got people that's liking, more people we got that's sharing, the more people that we got that's actually contributing to the channel and you know what I'm saying, sharing the content, we're gonna get this out there. And another thing too, we want people to have a voice. The more people that have a voice, the more people that have opinions, whether they agree or whether they disagree, it doesn't matter. We want to hear your side and what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because
you don't have to agree with us, but let's have a discussion.
We don't even agree about everything.
Listen to us, we don't, but we have to have a discussion because we have to rise together. It's time to stop talking about each other, stop judging each other, and pull together to get this together. Because every time something happens in Baltimore, it's part of our family. Do you understand? So instead of talking about it, we got to help each other. We're making some bad decisions and causing some serious stains in our race. And this is the part that hurts. Our children have to be able to to have fun and live without in danger all the time. Our senior citizens should be able to come out the house and live without feeling in fear. You know, we have to understand that we can't rely on the police to get us together.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do it ourselves, and we have to stop playing with these guns. So your situation is now, if you're dealing with somebody, stop trying to resolve the issue with a gun. Let me explain something. We grew up, I say this all the time. The fights that we've got in when we was young, like you all younger now, use a gun to resolve your issues. We put the dukes up because you can lose a fight and next thing you know, you become best friends because you can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you react in anger using a gun, you go too far.
Mm-hmm.
We know you don't mean you got to sit back and think, and it's too late. You can't bring a life back with a gun. So think, put on a thinking cap. You got a family, you got people that love you. They got people that love them. Deal with the issue another way. We got to pull together. And this is a secret. If someone makes you feel that you want to pull a bullet and shoot them, stop messing with them. Stop dealing with them. That's a challenge in life. That goes to see how you handle your challenge. Now, if you handle your challenge, you're pulling the trigger and killing them, you lose.
Right.
You lost your challenge. You didn't figure the challenge out. So every time now you got a tough situation, you know how you're going to try to handle it with a gun, and you're going to see that never worked. You know, your baby mother, every time you deal with her, you're going to shoot her. You don't see your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your children, the person at the store, the bus driver. Every time you get angry, you can't pull out a gun and shoot them. You have to deal with the situation. It's called a challenge in life. We're in this together. We're in Baltimore together. We have to live together. We have to deal with the things together. So before you make that decision, talk to somebody. Take a second out. Take a breather. Sometimes it's just not worth it.
Nope.
So let me ask you something. I'm 60 and you are how old?
28.
Now, let me explain. You're right at the age. Let's say we get in
and yes, Uncle Wayne is 60 years old.
You see,
there's a lot of living color.
And a lot of wisdom.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Wisdom. And listen, for you to be your age, you got so much wisdom. This is a question I need to ask from you all situation. Why do you all react instead of respond? Let's say, for example, we at a bus stop. I'm like, I look your way, or maybe you standing with your girl. Prime example, standing with your girl, I happen to look over that way. And the first thing you're going to say, don't be looking at her, or come up with a nasty comment.
I think the reason why we react like that is because simply that we haven't been shown any. It's either we haven't been shown any better, we haven't been taught any better, or we choose not to do better against what we've been taught. Because now we can understand how things work in life. When I was in business, a wise man had said to me, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So now when we understand that we don't have control over what happens to us, but we have control over how we react to it, and that we dictate our outcome over top of that, then we would have more insight. But see, we are young and we don't have experience with life. I remember my father used to say, he used to be like, man, y'all young folk can't see past your nose, which means that, look, you only about the moment. You're not about the movement. You can't see that far into the future. It's like playing chess. You can't see that many moves ahead because you're only worried about the now. You're only worried about the now, that instant gratitude, that instant gratification. And that's what I was saying about building things. A lot of our people, especially young people, we want stuff that come from we want to start at the top. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to start from the foundation to build up because it's too hard.
Earn your way, right?
We don't want to earn our way. And see, the problem with that is that if you start at the top, then there's nowhere to go but down. But if you start from the foundation, you start from rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not really critical thinkers like that. We need people to think for us right now because
why is it that way? For example,
because we have a lot of distractions.
If someone was successful when we were growing up, if they were doing well and doing good, they were successful, we would want to learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
You all's generation is the difference. If someone doing successful, you think, oh, I'm gonna take it. I'm a smoke them. instead of learning from it, you want to take it. Mm-hmm. Then you don't learn from it. That means there's nowhere to go. So you don't learn the lessons of being successful. Mm-hmm. You take it. And then you set up for someone to take from you.
That lets you know that our culture, like I said, we don't have codes. So like now, you know what I'm saying? We was just going back there where we was, and the person had got shot, or however many persons had got shot. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when you at a gas station and all those people out there, you wouldn't traditionally do that. You know what I'm saying?
Just would think,
just to
broad daylight.
You know what I'm saying? But it's no code, it's no recklessness. If there was a code that we were taught, our generation is just like no rules,
react,
no holds barred.
So I say you react. Everything is react. You say something, I'm gonna do something. You do this, I'm gonna do this.
It's any and everything go. It ain't like a boxing match. It ain't even like an MMA match where you can't do certain moves. You can't keep hitting people. You can't hit people in the back of the head. It's not like football where you can't make certain fouls and all that stuff. There's nothing out here that is not foul for the streets. And that's the problem. The streets that we are on, we don't understand that there is nothing that is foul out here. Whatever a person chooses to do in their mind and within their own constraints, that's what they so choose to do, and it don't make it right. That's why I said a lot of that stuff too, it comes from the older generation when they talking about people got their own truths and all that other stuff. No, you don't have your own truth. There are people out here that like little kids and all that other stuff out here. There are people out here that like to prey on old women and weak and vulnerable people. There are people out here that like to prey on weak and vulnerable animals and do heinous stuff. I'm telling you, there are heinous people out here, and we know it. We see it every single day.
Getting worse and worse.
There are heinous people out here. So what people see and what people think in their mind, you don't got your own goddamn truth. And I'm gonna say that one more time. You don't got your own goddamn truth. You got your side, you got the other person's side, or whatever the other thing side is, and then you got the truth. That's the stuff we need to. That's the stuff we need to be promoting. Not sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words may never hurt me. Those perpetual things.
Learning those myths to scope that really wasn't real.
I think the older generation did a good job with pandering into the delusion because they wanted so much to be like the white folks. They wanted so much to have the things that white folks had, the white picket fences and all that stuff. They wanted to be like that so bad that they copied that. You know what I'm saying? And that is not us. And then they gave us an image that was not us. And the only way you're going to see a black man is if he gangstered up, killing somebody or doing some heinous stuff. You see the black woman, she going to be twerking, she going to be angry, and she going to be have a bad attitude. I mean, all these stereotypes and stigmas really don't fit all our people. We are really a loving, caring people. And that whole black on black violence thing is a whole myth because white people kill white people at a higher percentage than black people kill black people. That's a fact too. Look it up. Don't believe me. Look it up. They are the majority of the population in America. But who you think doing a majority killing? I told you, black people only 40%. But who you think the other 60 is?
Wow, that's we doing. But we really listen. Even if they are, it is we. The situations we in.
Right.
None of us should be killing. None of us.
Right.
That should be the last.
Nobody
thing.
Should be killing nobody. And that's another thing. You don't have the right to kill somebody. In America, legally, only under certain pretenses, depending on what state you in. So you got to know the laws of the state because homicide could be justifiable. That's a fact as well, too. Homicide could be justifiable. Not the way that people doing it out here. Not the way that white, black, whoever out here killing, most of the time is not justifiable, and that's why they go to jail.
That's what's going on now. That's why they get their
freedom taken away from them because
listen, you've got to join us. We're going to have other guests that's coming in. We need your comments. We need to get into these deep conversations because that's how we say. We first have to have the conversation. That's what we're doing now. We want to bring guests in, come up with what you feel that's going on in Baltimore in your life that you think that make things better. Come on, let's get a conversation out here. Let's stop talking at each other. Let's talk together. Come on, we're going to need you. Again, thank you for joining in to BMore4Real.
Yeah, before we go we got one more comment. He said, look, cuz said, they are the ones that the people need to police are not the law. So the people that need policing and the people that need to be policed are not being policed. for me, it's like the police, but then the police the civilians, and that's the conflict of interest. There's a lot of things that go on within the court systems, which we need to talk about too. And we over time too, but look, check this out. This is real important as well. The way that the laws are set up is so that we won't win. The majority of the population does not know the laws. So when we look at it, if a civilian, was the investigating of a civilian, the law was not honored that. You know what I'm saying? As a it would be basically it would be a conflict of interest is what I'm trying to say. It would be a conflict of interest if a civilian had to interrogate another civilian for a crime, and especially if they was of the same ethnicity, gang, oath, creed, clan, creation, whatever. If they was of the same fold, if they were sheep of the same fold, then it would definitely be a conflict of interest. And see, now the thing is, we have a justice system where as though you have people, right? And these people go to jail and stuff like that, and they have public defenders. Public defenders are paid by the state. And also the people who are trying to build a case against you to get you thrown in jail, they are paid by the states. They're called the state's attorney. So now you got your defense and you got your offense, both being paid by the state. Is that not a conflict of interest? I forget what they call it, the quasi judicial system. See, this is the conflict of interest that we have out here, and that's what it's called, a quasi judicial system. So now it doesn't matter really if they got if they're part of the executive branch, if they're part of the judicial branch, or if they're part of the enforcement law, the branch, which there are three branches of the government. These people still are in cahoots, much like you have the bipartisan agreement with the Democrats and the Republicans, because at some point in time, these two are two wings on the same bird. So we got to be able to weed through that as black people and understand that these people don't have our interests at heart. So when we have people that are well educated enough, we won't argue Democrat or Republican, which Republicans have the best views, but yet and still, they're not the best people. We have Democratic ran cities that are the most violent cities in America, while we have the Republican ran states are the most poor states in America. So you pick and choose your poison or two of the lesser evils. But what black people are not going to do, we're not going to feed into none of that. We're not going to feed into none of that. We're going to establish a leader. We're going to establish things that'll get us in order and have a code on which we operate.
There we go.
If it's children and women and children around, you got beef, you got to let that go until another time where you can see them one-on-one. Whatever we got to do as a people,
together.
That's what we're going to do as a people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do it by law, by code, and we're following instruction. And those people that fall outside of instructions, they're not making that cake. They're not making that recipe. That's what
you're the weakest link. Right. If you out up and see, this is the conversation we had. You see how we get deeper than then we can come up with solutions where we have a conversation with each other. It has to be a conversation. That's what this is all about. When we talk, you and I get together, that's how we come up with a solution. It's enough to talk about the problems. We could talk all night and day about the problem. We need solutions. And it starts with having a conversation with each other. Us as blacks, we got to have a conversation with each other. We talk about the black business. You know how we talk about, oh yeah, you want us to cater to the black business, but the black business got to be open on time. You know what I mean? Have the same products as everyone else had, and not have an attitude and being disrespectful, and stop trying to gouge with these outrageous prices. You know, so it's the same.
Well, see, me, I kind of disagree with that, because black people, we don't have to connect. And that's another thing that, so look, if you know, you know. If you black, right, and you got to connect, and you in that industry, and you know somebody, that's your people, that's your fan, man, share the plug. Share the plug. Why y'all gatekeeping? Share the plug so people can get on.
Still part of coming together.
Share the plug so we can get on. You know what I'm saying? You know somebody that's doing the houses, you got the plug for the cars, you got the plug for energy, you got the plug for solar, you got the plug for whatever you need. And we got people in those positions. We got the plugs for the doctors, for the medicines, for the lawyers. You know what I'm saying? We got people.
We need black everything. And listen, when I say black, it doesn't mean we're against any other race. It has nothing to do with it. All can join together, but it's time for us to lead and let them follow for a change. What's wrong with that? You know, when people say, oh, we've been following them for eons. We've been following them for their rules and regulations, policies and procedures. That's with everything. Right. Every single thing they have is built in, and we have to follow. We have to make our own, and watch when you make it own. It's more comfortable for us where it fits. We are failing trying to succeed in them. It's time for us to have that conversation. That's what we're doing. Be more for real.
Be more for real, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate
and again,
y'all.
If you have business in Baltimore, come on, y'all. Trying to change the Baltimore neighborhoods into Baltimore communities. That's the difference.
Yep.
So that means when you go to the corner store, like the brother said, is every other. Day. You know what? You don't have a bad day when there's unconditional love. You have a bad day when you have anything but good love. You know?
And with that being said, be more for real. We appreciate
Be more
y'all.
for real.
Tune in every Wednesday, man. We doing this live, man. Make sure
subscribe,
y'all like, share,
subscribe.
Man, make sure y'all go ahead and support, man.